Dearest Eliza, the sea has turned against us. For 3 days, the fog has not lifted. Something watches us from that endless gray. We hear the bell at night, though no wind stirs. Sometimes I glimpse her, a shadowed vessel, masts towering, sails black even as the water rests like glass. The crew whispers, afraid to name it. I cannot stop them, for I share their fear. There is a weight heavier than storm or hunger, a dread stealing sleep and strength. Should this letter reach you, know I prayed for the shore we will never see. Your devoted husband, Captain Elias Warren, October 27th, 1778. My name's Bill Harrington. I've worked these Massachusetts waters most of my life. Born near Gloucester, where the town clings to the sea. October mornings bite through jackets. Today, I'm headed out on the Sea Sparrow, a 40-foot trawler past its prime, but steady. Crew's small, me, Pete, and O'Malley, enough to handle nets, winch, and traps. Our goal, drag the eastern shoals for cod and haddock before tide and fog turn. I tug boots over slick dock planks and glance at the stacked nets. Salt and diesel thick in the air. A day on the water is a day I understand. I swung over the rail. The Sea Sparrow creaked under my weight. Pete was at the winch, thermos in hand, coffee steam curling. "Morning, Bill," he said. "Fog's thick." "Morning," I muttered, tightening a line. O'Malley appeared, rubbing hands, nose red. "Better check the nets." I ran fingers along familiar ropes, knots I'd tied 100 times. The boat's small sounds settled me. We moved methodically, engine roaring, past the breakwater, gulls scattering, Atlantic stretching gray and endless. By mid-morning, we were on the eastern shoals. The Sea Sparrow pitched gently. Pete worked the winch. O'Malley checked traps. Fog curled around the hull, muffling waves. "Nothing yet," Pete muttered, hauling in a few cod. "Slow day." "Could be the tide," O'Malley said, squinting. "Fish in deeper channels." I ran a hand along the rail, damp and slick. Sunlight glinting off the swell like molten metal. Gulls wheeled overhead. The boat creaked. Winch groaned. Traps reset. Familiar knots, motions, smells. Yet, in the quiet, the sea felt immense, indifferent. The next trap came up slow. Pete leaned into it, muscles straining. "All right, let's see," he muttered, tipping the trap. Cod and haddock flopped, but there was something else. A piece of wood. Long, curved, polished smooth. Too deliberate for driftwood. Pete frowned. "Where'd that come from?" "Snagged on the bottom, maybe," O'Malley said. I ran my fingers along it. Smooth, solid, purposeful. Not treasure, yet it didn't belong. I tossed it aside. Nets reset. Evening rolled in. Pete leaned against the rail, peeling off his gloves. O'Malley stirred coffee. "Could use a warm meal," Pete said. "I'd settle for not pulling another line," I muttered. We checked the rigging, making sure the object stayed secure. The Sea Sparrow creaked. Lines hummed faintly, the ship alive with small noises. Then, through the stillness, came another sound. Faint, metallic, slow, like a church bell underwater. Its toll rolled over the dark waves. A shiver crawled up my spine, goosebumps prickling my arms. I froze, stomach tightening as if the sound had rooted me to the deck. My ears strained. "Did anyone else hear that?" I asked. "Probably a buoy," Pete said. O'Malley tilted his head. "Far off. Nothing new out here." The sound lingered, thickening the chill in my chest. I gripped the rail, trying to steady my nerves. Something about that bell gnawed at me, like I've heard it before. Against my will, my mind drifted to my grandfather, the old fisherman with weathered hands and eyes that had seen too much of the sea. Granddad's voice whispered, "Never trust a calm sea. Never ignore a sound that don't belong." I heard it in the fog's hiss, the winch's groan, the bell stretching across the water. He'd spun tales of sudden storms, ships lost to smoke like fog, voices not meant to be heard. I'd laugh as a kid. Now, chill curling in my jacket, I couldn't shake it. Maybe just a buoy, maybe. But his voice whispered anyway. "Listen close." Night fell over the Sea Sparrow. Shadows stretched across the deck as evening's chill settled. A low hum rattled through the cabin, then faltered into silence. The instruments flickered. Compass, depth gauge, radio, dying like the boat itself lost power. Pete muttered, fiddling with switches, but nothing changed. Only the water and hull's creak remained. Even gulls vanished. Air felt heavy, wind dead, sea unnaturally still. Then the bell rang again. Slow, measured, unmistakable, closer this time. Squinting, I saw it. Black sails, full, though the water was still, masts towering like jagged shadows. Hull was dark, ropes straining under unseen wind. "By God," Pete muttered. O'Malley's hand flew to his mouth. It was a ship, yet it didn't belong. Fog curled unnaturally, thickening around it. The ghostly ship loomed, sails like void, hull encrusted with jagged barnacles. The bell stopped. A hollow creak vibrated through the deck. The strange happenings intensified. Lines hummed, snapping slightly. Ropes twisted. A small buoy bounced as if lifted by unseen hands. Ominous figures then appeared. Dark, impossibly tall. Some still, others shifting with weight of flesh. Pairs of eyes glowed faintly, reflecting dimly in the water, unblinking. Pete muttered under his breath, gripping the rail. O'Malley's knuckles whitened. The swell was gentle. Wind was dead. Yet, the Sea Sparrow pitched as if something massive pressed the hull. Everything aboard seemed alive. We couldn't move, look away, or speak. The ship drifted closer, dark and deliberate. Figures watching. I gripped the wheel harder, fingers digging into the wood. "Pete, O'Malley, we..." My voice caught. Swell shifted unnaturally. A line snapped, narrowly missing O'Malley. Rigging moaned. The object we hauled aboard hummed faintly beneath my boots. Static filled the radio, air thick, carrying brine or something old like iron. The ghost ship closed. Shadows moved on deck, eyes still reflecting off water. Patient, malevolent. It had found us. A rope lashed O'Malley, yanking him toward the rail. "Help!" he screamed, thrashing, kicking, fingers clawing at the deck as the line bit into his waist, dragging him closer to the edge. But the figures across the black deck only watched, unmoving, eyes like lanterns in the fog. My chest burned with panic as I watched O'Malley drag toward the rail. The object beneath the lashings pulsed, and when I grabbed it, a searing heat shot through my hands, biting at my skin. Pain flared, but instinct screamed that it had to go. Heart hammering, I tore it free and, gritting my teeth against the burn, hurled it into the sea. It vanished in a flash of light and hiss of water, gone as though swallowed whole. The ghost ship groaned, its timbers shuddering with the sound that rattled the Sparrow's hull. The rope slackened, snapping loose from O'Malley's waist. He stumbled back onto the deck, gasping, eyes wild. The figures froze, their gaze breaking at last. Then, one by one, they turned. The ship began to recede, sails sagging, its large masts melting into the gray as if the fog had claimed it back. Silence pressed in. No wind, no bell, only the sea sparrow creaking beneath our boots. My breath came ragged, every nerve screaming that it wasn't truly gone, just watching from somewhere beyond the mist. For a long heartbeat, none of us moved. The crushing chill eased, but the sea around us felt changed, marked, as though we'd torn through something that was never meant to be touched. The fog thinned slightly, the sea dark and restless beneath us. The sea sparrow pitched gently, as if testing whether we still belonged on its waters. O'Malley slumped against the rail, shivering, his breath ragged. Pete stayed hunched at the wheel, fingers tapping a nervous rhythm he couldn't stop. I leaned against the mast, chest tight, trying to breathe without seeing those eyes whenever I closed mine. The object was gone, sunk into black water, its light extinguished. Yet the memory of it lingered, heavy and alive, as if the ocean had swallowed more than wood and glow. Every creak of rope, every shift of hull carried a warning. "Pray it doesn't happen again," O'Malley muttered, voice hoarse. I could only nod. We stayed on edge, hands clamped to lines, eyes searching the fog. The sea had gone still, but it didn't feel safe. Somewhere out there, beyond what we could see, the black ship drifted, patient, waiting, a shadow of things that should not be, and the memory of its bell and those glowing eyes pressed close, certain to haunt us long past the night. Later, in the wheelhouse, I opened the Sea Sparrow's log to steady my thoughts, pen scratching words I hoped would make sense of what we had seen. But as I flipped the cover, a loose page I've never seen slid free and fluttered to the floorboards. I bent to pick it up. The paper was old, edges soft with salt, ink faded but still legible. The words began, "Dearest Eliza."